Hello, I'm Lisa Rana, and thank you for joining me for another Assemble This video. I have a lot to share today. I have this brand new sentiment kit from Unity Stamp Company, and then a fun way to add some shine to your cards using some hot foil dies and lots of pretty foils. I'm pulling out my Copic markers and this amazing stamp set to get a bunch of birthday cards ready to go. I'm featuring the May 2022 sentiment kit from Unity Stamp Company with all these great birthday images and sentiments to play with. Here are all the Copic markers that I'm going to be using for coloring these images. I did pre-stamp my panels and then a bunch of extra elements as well. I stamped everything on some Nina Solar White 80-pound cardstock with some Copic friendly ink like Gina K Amalgam. And then I just pulled out a bunch of Copic markers in the colors that I really liked. I like these kind of deeper pastel-y colors, so that's what I'm going with. I started out with the pink, which was R20, R21, and R22, and colored in the top of the cake. As you can see, I'm focusing on making the sides of the cake a little bit darker, so I'm adding shadowing there and then keeping it light in the center just to add a bit of dimension. The bottom of the cake, I like the idea of having an ombre look, so I pulled out a bunch of BG colors and I started with light at the top and then got darker as I went down, and then add a little bit of green candles and flames to the top of that cake. Next, I moved on to these really cute presents. They're just a fun shape and pattern. And so I'm using the same colors again in the BG family and just coloring in the stripes on the pattern paper of the wrapping paper. And I'm using yellow as well. So I did the yellow stripes and then now I'm going into the teal color here. And again, I'm focusing on the edges being darker and the center being lighter in color. Again, that just adds a little bit of dimension to the image so it's not so flat. And it's really easy to do. You don't have to really work hard to blend out these colors. The contrast of having that really makes the image pop. And then I'm just going to color in the top of this present with the BG colors. Again, focusing on adding a little bit of shadowing at the bottom and sides of the present. Moving on with, again, using those teal colors for this present. I just love these colors. I thought it would be nice that the set of cards would match. They're mainly for me, so they're going to be going into my stash to be giving away, but I like the idea of the colors matching between the three cards if I did want to give them away as a gift, which I do often. A lot of times I'll give cards away as part of as a gift to somebody. I'm going to finish this one off with a pink bow, and then moving on to the third present, I'm just going to pull in the same colors. I like the idea of keeping these presents just yellow, teal, and pink. And I'm just kind of picking different portions of each present to feature a different color. Like the first one was mainly teal, the second one, the pink really pops, and this third one, I'm pulling in the yellow and the pink to kind of tie everything together. It looks pleasing to the eye when you mix up the colors this way. So super easy. You could even pull out a white gel pen and add even more elements to these little cakes and balloons and presents. That would be fun. And then last, I'm just creating a green balloon just because I really love this green. It just makes me happy. And then the yellow star in the middle. Just really cute. And then now I'm just going to get my scissors and start fussy cutting everything out. I'm not really worried about the extra little elements because these are going to be popped up on my card. And so they're just to kind of create dimension on the panels that I'll be using for the card fronts. Next, let's move on to some hot foiling. I have a bunch of different plates from Spellbinders. I wasn't really sure which ones I wanted to use, so I just pulled out the ones that kind of made me happy. I'm starting with Twinkling Lights, and I'm going to use some rose gold foil. I'm creating a full background using these strips, and I'm starting with one side of my cardstock, and then I'm going to place that into my glimmer machine and let that heat up. I hit the timer once to let that get nice and hot, and then I'll pull it out and then run that through my Big Shot. I did place the shim in here because sometimes I need it, but with Spellbinders plates, I actually don't. So I pulled that shim out and then ran that through my Big Shot. I ran it through twice, but next time I'll only run it through once. I got a bit of extra overfoiling, so it was just a bit too much pressure for the plate and the foil. So now I'm just going to place that plate on the other side of my cardstock so I get a full background. Place my foil down one more time and then run that through the glimmer machine and my die cutting machine one more time. And then I just pulled that away. Save those negatives because I did use a solid hot plate to use that negative and created a center panel for that card. And for the other two panels, I did the same thing using the Celestial Star plate with Aurora foil. Next up, I really like the idea of having a mat behind one of my panels. So I'm going to use the metal shim and a solid piece of foil to just foil a sheet of cardstock because I want that to match my background. So I placed that in, got it really nice and hot, and then ran that through my die cut machine. I highly recommend the Pink Fresh Studios solid plate to do that as well. You'll probably get a much nicer looking transfer. Next, we're just going to build these cards up. I popped up that green balloon panel on the stars background, and then I'm popping up the gift panel onto the rose gold twinkle lights background. And then now I'm going to layer up this cake panel with my foiled die cut, which is really pretty. Gosh, isn't that gorgeous? I just love the shine on that. I used the scallops and rectangles dies from Unity to die cut my panels as well. And here are the finished cards, all from the same stamp set. The first one has all those gifts colored with Copics and popped up against some pretty rose gold foil. The mix of the positive and the negative foil adds so much shine. And I love this green balloon and the cute sentiment. The stamped stars are the perfect match to the foiled stars in the background. And last, we have this really darling little cake with a ton of holographic shine from the foil mat and stars. Thank you so much for watching. I'll have all the supplies linked in the description of this video on my Dollhouse Designs YouTube channel and blog. Please give the video a thumbs up and subscribe if you enjoyed it. Plus, if you have any questions or sweet comment, post below. I hope you enjoyed creating with me, and of course, I'll see you again soon for another video. Bye!